Hi guys, so today I'm going to show you how to install Buzztouch self-hosted server on a Windows server, which according to Buzztouch is unsupported, but using the Microsoft Web Platform we can make it possible. So to begin with, we're going to download the self-hosted. Just get our zip file there. And then what we're going to do is create our virtual machine. Now I'm going to use Azure, which is a Microsoft service where you can run virtual machines in the cloud, but you can use VMs on site. You can use a physical machine if you want, as long as it's running a Windows server. I'm going to use 2008 R2, and then we'll just set it up. Let's call it Buzztouch tutorial. Just going to give it a single core with 1.75 gig of memory. Just going to give the account the username supervisor, give it a password. Take up the space there. Then that's my closest server, North Europe. And then obviously we're going to need HTTP and HTTPS for the server. And then you can use MySQL and FTP if you want to use it. I'm not going to show, but you can do that if you want. Don't need the VM agent, just wait for that to install there. And then while that's running, we're going to create our subdomain, and I'm using 1-on-1. And then we're just going to call our subdomain BT tutorial again. That will now create. Let's get rid of that. And then when we've got that subdomain there, bring it up, BT tutorial. We can then go in and get our SSL certificate. Now I'm going to show you how to set this up because it's obviously pretty good to use for your self-hosted server, and you can't do it within the control panel. So I'm going to use Start SSL. It's a free SSL service, and you can sign up and get as many free SSL certificates as you want. They'll appear like this, so in Chrome they're green, but not like that. And then I've already signed up, so we're just going to authenticate. And then you get brought to this home page here. We'll do Certificates Wizard, Web Server, and then skip that. Now we're just going to wait for our BT tutorial server to finish running so we can get the SSL certificate out of there. The machine's now running, we're going to try and connect to it. Hopefully our new user has been made for us. We'll continue with that. So here's our new user, we're just going to sign in. So we're now logged in. This is our virtual server which we just created, and this is located off-site in North Europe. And first thing we're going to want to do on there is just bring up the server manager, which it should do automatically for us. There we go. Just going to turn off the Internet Explorer Enhanced Security configuration because we're going to be downloading files, and we want to be able to do that freely. So we're going to go into Internet Explorer. I'm just going to type in Microsoft Web Platform Installer. Get the first one there. It's less than 2 megs, so it's nice and quick to download. Don't need to save it, you just need to run it. And then after that's downloaded, you can close that. That will run automatically for you. Now the web platform installer, that's going to get the PHP side of things and the MySQL side all sorted for us. We just have to give the root passwords and stuff like that, and then it's all installed for us straight away. We don't have to do much to get that working. So that'll come up with a nice little interface in a minute. We're going to click on products. We're going to type in the search PHP to start off with. We're going to go for PHP 5.4. Just click add there, that will change to remove. And we want MySQL as well. Just going to install the top one there, 5.5. And then you can see it says 4 items to be installed. That's fine. Just click install, give it our root password. I'm going to use the same password that I used for the admin log on. Save that. It's going to say all of these things. I'm going to do I accept. It's going to install IIS for you. We're going to pause the video here, and then when it's all sorted, we'll come back to it. Right, so now the web platform installer has finished installing our software. We can go ahead and close that. And what we're going to do now is create a website in the IIS manager. So we're going to go to Start and Administrative Tools, then into the Internet Information Services Manager. What we get here is a window with our server name here. I'm just going to expand that. And then another one will come down called Sites. We're going to expand that as well. And here you get the default website. We don't want that. We're going to change that by right-clicking it. And we're going to do Edit Bindings. We want to change the port number to 81 because we don't want to use that site. Just going to OK that and close that. So now what we're going to do is right-click Sites, Add Website, and we're going to call it BT Tutorial, and physical path we're going to do C. This top folder, which is created during the IIS install, we're just going to make one in there called BT Tutorial for now. And then we're going to do HTTP again. We're going to do host name, and we've got BT tutorial.fusiontechnology.co.uk, and that's the domain we made earlier on. So we're going to do OK then, and that website has now been added and started with port 80 currently. We want to add port 443 for our HTTPS connection, but currently we can't because it'll ask for a certificate. So that's when this part comes in. We're going to go to the server name here, BT Tutorial. We're going to do server certificates. Then we're going to do create certificate request. Common name, we're going to put our subdomain in there, so BT Tutorial, like that. Then organization with Fusion Technology. Call it app development. And then just put where we are. And we're in the UK, so we're going to put GB there. Next, I'm going to change the bit length to 2048 there. Leave that one as it is. I'm just going to put it in the C drive. We're going to call it request.txt and finish. So we've now got a sign-in request which we can use over at Start SSL. So there we're going to go into the C drive, open up our certificate request which we just saved, which is down here. Get all of this random letters. We're going to copy all of those, paste that in there, continue. And then you get certificate request received. We're just going to continue that. Say what domain you want. I've already verified ours. I'm just going to say BT Tutorial because that's what we set up earlier, and we're going to continue. Continue again. And sometimes they do say you need an additional check, so they come through within probably the next 15 minutes. and then in your toolbox when you receive it you get retrieve certificate and it'll just appear in there. So we're just going to wait for that to come through. Right, I have just received the email from Start SSL and our certificate has now been issued, so we're going to head over to the toolbox. We're going to do retrieve certificate, and then in our drop down we have BT tutorial, continue, and it will give us some text much like the signing request that we put in. So we're going to select all of that and copy it. Go back over to here and we're just going to overwrite all of that, paste that there. And we're going to do file, save as. We're going to change that from txt there to all files, and we're going to call that certificate.cer. The CER is the extension. Instead of txt, it shows that it's a certificate. So we're going to save that, close that and close that. We're going to do complete certificate request because we've now received it. Computer, C drive, certificate. Friendly name, we'll just call it BT tutorial certificate. You can call that whatever you want, that doesn't really matter, it's just so you know what it is if you need it for future reference. Press OK, that's going to go through. And now it's appeared here, so BT tutorial, and that's now installed. We can now right click our website, do edit bindings, add. We can now choose HTTPS and choose our certificate. OK that. Then we'll just close that off. Now we're done with the IIS manager. What we're going to do now is head back to the Windows Asia site and we're going to open up our BT tutorial, and every server created on Windows Asia gets its own public IP address, and this is good for us because it means that we can just do a DNS forward. So here we've got our public IP address and our internal. We want to copy our public one, so we're going to copy that. Go into Domain Center and choose our subdomain. So now we're going to open DNS settings and edit those. And here we get the option to do all of this. We're going to choose other IP address and paste in that public IP address we've just been given. Save and yes. And that's now ready to go. So now what we're going to do, earlier on when we downloaded the BT server, we're going to unzip that, and then we're going to end our session with the server, come back into here, and we're going to copy out our virtual IP address. I'm going to do new BT tutorial and paste our IP address in there, and then whatever port we were given for our remote desktop, which in this case is 64532. We'll do edit, redirection, and add, and we're going to just redirect it to our downloads folder so we can access that from the server. Do OK, close it. We're just going to start off our session again now. And supervisor is logged in, so we're just going to type in our password there. Now if we go into computer, our downloads folder is now there. So just going to open that up. We've got BT server. We're going to select the contents of that and copy it. Then we're going to go to that folder that we created earlier for websites at C drive, the top folder, and then BT tutorial. Just going to paste all of those files off our local machine into there. Right, so now the copy operation is finished and all of those files are in the BT tutorial folder. We should just be able to close that. And now we need to create our database for the Buzztouch server to live in. So in our start menu, it's been placed there for us. It's MySQL command line client. I'm just going to open that. It's going to ask you for the root password you specified earlier, so we're just going to go ahead and type that in. So now we've got the command line open. We're going to create our database just by typing in create database. And for this, we're just going to call it Buzztouch, and make sure you put your semicolon at the end. So now that's been done, we now need to create the user account to go with it. So we're going to type grant all privileges, gotta remember how to spell that, on Buzztouch dot, then we're going to put asterisks in there, to user BT, we're just going to call it that, localhost, because the server's hosted on the server, identified by, and then we're going to type in our password here, and we're going to call it, let's say, BT pass, we'll call it that. Then close that and put our semicolon at the end. That should go through. I'm just going to close that off. So now our user and our database has been created. And now, because we've put the DNS board in place, we should just be able to go to bttutorial.fusiontechnology.co.uk, which is our domain. I'm just going to do install there. Now, because it's Windows, this line is a bit screwed up, so what we need to do is put in the actual physical path, which is C, then inetpub, that's the folder which is in the C drive, and then we called our folder in there, bttutorial. Our root URL, we're going to put the S in there, so HTTPS, so it knows to use a secure connection all the time, and that will also go into all your JSON data and stuff like that. Just going to do bttutorial.fusiontechnology.co.uk. That's our full domain. Our domain name was Buzztouch. Our username was user BT. Our password was btpass. Press next, and if you've got a tick in there, you know your secure connection has worked, because that's getting it from the HTTPS. If it's not there, you need to go back through the video and make sure that your IIS is working, you've got a certificate in there, and most of all check that your domain is correct. So what we're going to do, just going to ignore that for now, we're going to do next. It will say that this folder is not writable, and it will tell you to use the 0755. Because we're on Windows, we can't do that. So what we're going to do instead is go into here, go into our folder, so inetpub BT tutorial, and it's the files directory. So we're going to right click files, there's nothing in there. So right click, properties, security, I'm just going to add everyone, because we want everyone to be able to write to it. It's going to do modify not full control, because then if someone's on your local network they can get into it. Do OK and OK. Now if we close that off, we should just be able to do try again and refresh, and it says everything looks OK. Click next. Now this is a part that you should not copy and paste the data. What we're going to do instead is move that over to there, and you'll see why we don't copy and paste it as soon as we open the file. So we're going to go back into our folder, going to do config.php, open it in Notepad, and make sure that you untick this box, else absolutely everything that's a PHP is going to want to open in Notepad from now on. We're just going to word wrap that, and normally that would be nicely laid out, and that's the reason that you don't want to copy and paste it, because then your data will be corrupted basically. So we're just going to go through and change all the variables. So DB name, we called that Buzztouch. DB username was user_BT, we get this information from here. And then our password was btpass. In here, where you've got your username and password, we haven't specified that yet, but you can now. So this is your account username for the buzztouch.com website, so you can download all your plugins. So I'm actually going to put mine in, so just for the purpose of this. And I'm not going to put my real password in. Then your API URL and secret and stuff like that you can get from account self-hosted servers, and that's all in there. It's quite self-explanatory to that part. Now your app URL, you want to put in the HTTPS there. You want bttutorial.fusiontechnology.co.uk. Do not put the / on there. For some reason it doesn't like that. And then your physical path, we've already typed that in, so we just want inetpub BT tutorial. Check that this is all correct by looking down here. And then the data directory is files still, we don't have to change that. And files and theme is where your theme is. and then we're going to leave all of this part the same, so Buzztouch, the description and the keywords. SMTP you can set up if you want, so say we were setting it up, we're not going to, but you just change that to an email address, mail server, mine's 1-on-1, so we're just going to use auth.smtp.1on1.co.uk, put in a user and a password there, and then to use SMTP you need to change that 0 to a 1, but we're not going to do that. The crypto key, the app crypto key there, need to find where that is. There we go, crypto string. I want to change that with the one it's generated for us. Once you've put this in and closed the document, do not change it again because you'll mess it all up. And I'm just going to paste that in there. And then upload size, that should all be set already for us. Yep. Current app version, we want to change that to 3.0.0, and then the cookie name is also here. It's over here, it's exactly the same as the number above it, so we're just going to copy that once, paste that there. Over here, and we also want to paste it in this one that says your unique remember cookie name as well. And we're going to scroll down a bit, and that should already be done for us because that's standard, and that's all we need to change in the config, so we're just going to save that and close it. Going to do finish now because we've completed that, and then what we're going to do, login ID, going to type in, the default is fans@buzztouch.com, and the password is Buzztouch Pro. Notice how it's already changed it to take HTTPS. The first thing you want to do is update your name, so I'm just going to change it to if I was going to use it. Email address. Just going to change that. And the password will also need changing. So that's currently Buzztouch Pro, we want that to be a different password. And now we can just log out. We're going to close Internet Explorer now and go back to our Chrome on our Mac here. Now we're going to go to it off the server. So BT Tutorial Fusion Technology.co.uk. Notice how it hasn't taken you to HTTPS. So one thing we do need to do is go into Server Manager. Wait for it to collect the data. There we go. You just want to right click that. Do Add Role Services. Want HTTP redirection. I'm going to do Next and Install. So now that's completed, we can just close that and close the Server Manager. So now, because it's all HTTP and not S yet, on the logon screen, we need to go to Start, Internet Information Services, and now we want to go to our website, and we want to edit the bindings again. This time we're going to take off the HTTP, just remove that, and now that site is HTTPS only. We're going to do Sites. Now we're going to create another one. I'm going to call it BT Redirect. Just give that another folder. We're not going to put anything in this folder, so we'll just call that BT redirect. Close that. And then we only want HTTP with this one. And we're going to put our domain in here. And then in here we want to do HTTP redirect, and we want to do the HTTPS. So when someone goes to this part, they're going to redirect over to HTTPS. So put your subdomain in here. Just apply that. And then if we do BT tutorial, it redirects us to HTTPS, we get the green. And then we can sign in with our account, and it all works, all secure, and we are now running Buzztouch off the Windows server. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, I hope it helps you, and if you've got any comments or questions, you can leave comments here, you can post on the Buzztouch forum, or you can send me a direct message on Buzztouch. Thanks for watching.